Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing an anime tier list of the 2025 summer anime season. It has been absolutely phenomenal. It's so unbelievably stacked. I was looking at this season and I'm just enjoying it and I'm loving it and I'm like, I cannot compare these animes to each other. I cannot stack them up against each other. They're just too good. And then I decided, you know what, let's do a tier list then. If it's that hard, let's do a tier list and really struggle. But have a lot of fun doing it. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off. I promise you this is not rage bait. These are just my opinions. This is just what I think. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments down below where you disagree or where you agree. What is your must-watches? I'm going to be honest, I only have 2 so far this season. I want to be very, specific with that. I want to be very careful. I don't want to just put them all in must-watch. So let me know what are your S-rated animes so far this season. And yes, again, I'm sorry if I upset you. I usually tend to piss people off in the comments whenever I do this, but that's why it's fun to do, because, you get a lot of different opinions and a lot of different perspectives, and anime fans are passionate. They love this stuff, so you can't blame them for that. So let's get right into it. An absolute amazing gem of an anime. This is got to be mid to top tier of A. Is The Secrets of the Silent Witch. I'm gonna be honest. The beginning was phenomenal, and the beginning low-key kind of carried. You have a great premise of this character who is one of the 7 great mages. Absolutely insane. The animation is pretty solid, but then the animation of the first fight was phenomenal. It's yo, where did that come from? That's absolutely incredible. The first episode or 2 were, I think, phenomenal, low-key S. But it is starting to kind of fall off, get a little slow, because you set up this character who's really cool, really strong, but also very socially awkward, so she doesn't really speak, struggles in front of people, which is just pretty comedic. But then you're yeah, we're gonna have her protect the prince at the school, and it's bro, she already graduated, why is she going back there? I think when they actually set everything up and they really get going with the story, it is going to get super, super, super good. I think it's gonna have a really good story. I think the animation's sick, so the more we get into actual genuine fights, is going to be phenomenal. Some of the best animated fights of the season have been from Secrets of the Silent Witch. But I think once we get going, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and it's going to be at the top of A. I think it's more so right now in the middle of A. The top of A for the beginning of the season, the middle of the season is middle of A, and I feel the end of the season is going to be top of A. And hopefully it gets to season 2. It is very, very good. Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a breeze. Honestly, I gotta say, mid to bottom of A. Very good. It reminds me a lot of quintessential quintuplets, which I enjoyed that anime. I love romance animes. I think this is a great rom-com. It is super wholesome in a lot of moments, and it is also very funny. The MC is a fuck-up. He is he was born from a prodigy. A woman who was the best actress in the world. Everyone fell in love with her. She's so talented, and then she had this kid who has her looks, but that's all he has. And they call him a failure, and you just kind of feel bad for him, but it's a really good show. I think what kind of makes this show kind of stand out a bit more and be better in this season is because we technically don't really have too many solid, genuine romances. I mean, we do have Fragrant Flowers, but you might not be able to watch that, you know what I mean? So, I'm really enjoying this. I think it is solid. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Fragrant Flowers was very easy to watch just on Netflix, just in my area. I would probably put this at the top of B, but since it is kind of my source of romance for the season, it is back of A. I think it's really good. If you like quintessential quintuplets, watch this, trust me. Sakamoto Days. I'm gonna put this in between. Alright, I love Sakamoto Days. I think it is very, very good. I think Season 2 is going to be phenomenal, and it is going to absolutely clean up and be solid. The only problem is that so far in the beginning of the season, it was sick because we saw Shin and Lu level up and get stronger, and that was sick. But we're dealing with the death row inmates. So far, they haven't been the most entertaining. When we get more into Slur's group and the Order, that is going to be incredible. That is going to be some of the best fights. It's going to be insane. This has been more of a build-up, get to know the characters, introduce more characters, level up a little bit, with action before shit gets real. And when shit gets real, I feel this is going to be absolutely incredible, but mid to back of A is probably going to end the season at the top of A. I'm not going to lie. Awesome. DanDaDan. Absolutely killing it. I know DanDaDan got a lot of heat at the end of last season because it kind of just stopped. They pretty much made a 24 episode season and then just cut it halfway and put a couple month break in between them. And that upset people because at the end of season 1, it kind of just stopped abruptly, and you're wait, that's the last episode? But because of that, it hit the ground running. I mean, the beginning of DanDaDan, phenomenal. Very, very, very good. And then also, we're getting more into the slice of life aspect of it, and I like that because I think DanDaDan has phenomenal characters. So just kind of being around and having them interact in the funny moments, I absolutely love. I know it kind of got a little bit of heat because, God forbid, we stop action a little bit and people freak out. I'm enjoying it so far. I think the beginning and middle of DanDaDan has been money. Has been really, really good, and it's been an amazing watch each and every week. Top of A, maybe number one of A. It's so good. Takopi's Original Sin. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first S. Takopi's Original Sin is the most depressing, the saddest, the most incredible anime of 2025. It has only 6 episodes. It is already done, and the season's done. That's all it had. It had, I think, 16 chapters in the manga, so we're not getting another season. We're not getting more. It's just 6 episodes of just holy shit. I think it is the most highest rated anime of the year, and it has every episode rated above a 9, which I don't think it has ever happened before, but also it's only 6 episodes, so to be fair, it was kind of easier to do that, but let me just say, it is phenomenal. If you like sad animes, you're going to absolutely love this. If you like animes with a good story, you're going to absolutely love this. If you do not like depressing animes or you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, I don't recommend it because, yeah, first episode, it kind of reminds you it's not for the faint of heart. And let me just say, this is definitely incredible. It has completely towered over and been the talk of the town this season. It has been absolutely incredible, and it is 100% well-deserved. Now, The Water Magician. Do I put this at B? Do we put this as good, or do we put this at A? I'm not gonna lie. I think, if I'm not being biased here, I'm trying to think of like the average anime watcher, I think this is mid of A, for sure. For sure. I think for me personally, it is B. I think Water Magician is very good. I want to get that out of the way right now. I think it is a good anime. I think the animation's pretty solid. It is enjoyable to watch. People kind of said it reminds them of Fragrant. I'm not gonna lie, you're not too far off with that. It's a dude who, like, really doesn't want to, like, he's, like, super overpowered, insanely strong, but, like, really doesn't want the spotlight, really doesn't want the attention, you know what I mean? He kind of just wants to go and explore and venture out and meet people and interact, you know, learn new things. So I think it is actually very enjoyable. It is a really good anime. I think in another season it would have done a lot better, but in a season this stacked, it's like there's so many other things that kind of have my attention more. You know, the slice of life animes, that's why this one was kind of rated a little bit lower. They're kind of hard to stick to because you don't have that story that just grabs you in and that just leaves you wanting more. So that's the only thing. I think this is really good. I think the fighting is awesome. I think the story is good. I think the animation's solid. And I think if you like kind of like isekais, you know, and you kind of like the adventure animes, this is a top tier anime for you. I think if you like those genres of animes, this is going to be a phenomenal pick for you. Now, getting into something controversial. Okay, listen, I'm not necessarily lying here, and I'm not necessarily telling the truth. Lord of the Mysteries, I think the sub isn't good. Hear me out here. It's not. I'm not putting it in math, by the way. I'm not actually gonna put this on the list. The thing is, Lord of the Mysteries is really, really cool. It has phenomenal animation. The story seems phenomenal. The characters seem incredible. It is just mad confusing, and I've really tried to kind of like follow along and kind of get into it. I've been looking at a bunch of different creators on TikTok who follow it like religiously, you know, and they were like explaining certain things. But I just can't keep up with like understanding it, and because I understand like the majority of it, like maybe like 75% of it, but not being able to understand that 25% kind of just throws it off. And also they're longer episodes too, so like you have so many episodes. Like I watch all these animes each and every week on top of other stuff, so like having a bit longer of an anime that you don't necessarily understand fully, it's kind of hard to like keep up with it. So here's the thing, if I'm going off the sub, I'm probably putting it in math. I mean, I kind of wanted to drop it, but hearing the dub, believe it or not, is way better, because what they did is that they've really simplified a lot of the things to make it easier to understand and added sentences for more additional context to make it, like, you know, easier to understand. Because the problem is that this is apparently an event-based adaptation, which means they're just taking events and then pulling information from chapters all over the place. That's what I heard. So even people who read the Danwa, I believe it's called, are also kind of confused because it's like, wait, what's going on? It's not a one-for-one. If you read it, it's going to be different. I think it is phenomenal, but it takes some growing pains, some learning pains to kind of get into and kind of trying to figure everything out. And once you get everything, if you get everything, it's S tier. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing is I'm waiting. I know that the next season's not going to be too stacked, like the next, you know, fall season. So I'm kind of letting the dub, you know, come fully out, and then I'm going to binge it throughout the fall season, and I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I hear the dub is so good. It makes it so easy to understand. So I feel like it's going to make it just so enjoyable. I really do. I think that the dub, though, is going to make it an easy S. Tougen Anki, I gotta say, it's up there. Tougen Anki is absolutely bodying. It is so good. It is so entertaining. It's gonna be 24 episodes, which I absolutely love. So if you like Tougen Anki, awesome. It reminds me of the early kind of like shonens. I mean by early, I mean like the big three in a way. It has like references back to Naruto. Like they are Team Seven, 100%. Except the pink haired girl is just way cooler, way stronger, and just better than Sakura. I'm not Sakura hater, but like she's sick. And this squad sick. This anime sick. I think the fights are awesome. I think the idea of like the Oni versus like these kind of like samurai. I forget like what they're called. I'm sorry. Is really awesome. I think the using of blood as your like power is so sick, and I think that the way that it's portrayed differently between each of the characters is awesome and just so cool. Like I said, if you like Naruto, I think you're really gonna like Tougen Anki. It has been really good so far. The story has been awesome, and I'm hooked. I wasn't expecting to like it this much. This is an anime, or I'm like, I was kind of suggested it, and I'm like, all right, it might be okay. Started watching it, and I'm like, yo, I look forward to this each and every week so easily, so good. My Dress Up Darling. Am I gonna put My Dress Up Darling before Sakamoto Days? I don't know. Like right now, yes. Right now, the episode I just watched, yes. Like I said, Sakamoto Days is solid. My Dress Up Darling is low key hitting. They have Gojo. Fucking, oh my god, the fan service of Gojo is insane. The ladies are freaking out online. They are absolutely, like, him taking off, like, his sweater, locking in, rolling up the sleeves, just looking like a beast. Everyone was, like, every girl was just drooling over that episode. I think it was so funny. Listen, I think that so far, My Dress Up Darling this season has been really good. I think it is super funny, a lot of nice and wholesome moments, and I've just been, it's like an easy, fun watch that I've just been really liking. I will say this, though, and I know it's probably not going to happen because, you know, I think what I've heard from the manga is I want them to just, like, progress the romance side of it faster. You know what I mean? It is so one-sided, it's insane. So I would just like to see that. I don't know. I feel like they're just dragging it on too long, and that aspect of it is too slow paced, but the slice of life is good enough to make up for it. So I do think it's solid, but I feel like as the season progresses, this might drop down and this will drop up. So, like I said, this is just mid-season. We've only had 6 episodes for a lot of these, some of them more, some of them less. So, as of right now, the little snapshot we got here, this is where I'm kind of putting it. Kaiju 8, like I said, little snapshot we got here, that's where we're putting it. Kaiju 8 did have a slow start. I agree with everybody. I'm upset that they kind of made Kafka a bum in the first 2 episodes where he just can't transform, and it's like, dude, like, you're exercising more than other people. You're studying more than other people. I get, like, you're old, but, like, you're useless, bro. So, the fact that he's able to turn is nice. The last episode of Shinomiya, like, the Commander Shinomiya, like, oh my god. Boys, don't tell me it's real. Don't tell me it's real. We didn't have the full flashback, you know what I mean? I gotta say, I'm probably gonna put it right here. I'm probably gonna put it right here. Right here. Okay, no. Okay, wait, I don't know. Tougen Anki does it beat it? I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, this is my tier list. I'm biased. I can be my tier list, right? That's what I'm saying. Don't get mad at me. It's just my opinion. I think that it being season 2, Kaiju's put in front of Tougen Anki because, again, I am a diehard Kaiju 8 fan. I got the display. I got the shirts. I got it all. I love Kaiju 8. I feel like that's what gives it kind of the nod. It is getting really good mid-season. End of season is going to be phenomenal. Beginning of the season, I can see people kind of getting upset with. I can see people putting this, like, down here. You know what I mean? I can see them putting it, like, in the back of A. For me personally, I'm just gonna put it in the front. I absolutely love it. It is really heating up. It is heating up quick. So that's where I'm kind of on with that. Easy. You know what? I'll do something even crazier. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Gachiakuta is so unbelievably good. I'm still watching it, but I went and read the manga midway through, I think, like, the 4th episode. It was, like, the 3rd or 4th episode. After episode 1, it became my wallpaper of my computer. After episode 3, I think I got into the manga, and I've completely surpassed where season 1's going to end. 24 episodes, by the way. Absolutely insane. I think I'm, like, chapter 90, somewhere around there. I'm going to be caught up, like, very soon. Absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite series, I think, all time. I am so unbelievably in love with this series. It is insane. If you have not seen Gachiakuta yet this season, please, 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 please do yourself a favor and check it out. It is so unbelievably good, and you know what? I'm gonna do it. I gotta say, it is my #1 anime of this season. It is so unbelievably good. I think that the music, first of all, is awesome. The animation is really good. Like, the art fits the style, and whenever you have that, it's just perfect. The characters are so incredible. The fight scenes, I mean, any real fight scene is gonna be absolutely insane. They have all dominated so far, and we've just introduced a Jabber. Not going to spoil anything, but anytime Jabber shows up, you're about to have one of the best fight scenes of that month. Like, it is absolutely insane. It is only going to get so much better. And gotta say, Gachiakuta, I think, is low-key the #1 anime this season. It is so unbelievably good. If you like shonens and stuff, you're going to absolutely love Gachiakuta. It's here to stay. I hope they get way more manga chapters out, because I would love to see so many more seasons of this as soon as possible. And I know we're getting 24 episodes and I'm asking for more, but it's seriously that good. I'm so unbelievably in love with this anime. It is so good. Alright, Fragrant Flowers, I gotta be honest. I don't know if to put it at the back of A or the beginning of B. Because like I said, it is like a little snapshot halfway throughout the season. I think this is a really good anime. Like, the content is really, really good. The problem is that it's not easy to watch. It's a Netflix exclusive. Netflix decided like 2 or 3 days before it's supposed to premiere. They're like, hey, by the way, only in Japan. Everyone was like, dude, wait, what? What are you talking about? Some people actually didn't even see it, and they were waiting Sunday night and like, yo, it didn't drop. Then they're seeing clips online like, hey, how you guys watching this? It's not on my Netflix. It's like, yes, it's on Japan. So if you want, you can use a VPN, switch it to Japan, and go on Japan's Netflix, and it's gonna be there. That, or you become a pirate and sail the 7 seas. Either way, I don't judge. You know, anime is anime. But that simple fact is that this isn't easy to watch. You kind of have to go out of your way to watch it. I do think it is really good, though. I gotta say, if I'm gonna be judging this, I gotta say it is probably here. I gotta say, it's probably here. It's probably here. It is really good. Like I said, I'm a sucker for romance animes. I really enjoy this. If it was like on Netflix and dropped every week, and it was like easy to watch, and it was like convenience, the way to say it, I'd probably put it right here. I'd probably put it right here. Like I said, I'm a sucker for romance animes. I do think this will be romance anime of the year by far. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be blown away. I'm gonna be surprised. But I gotta say, it's probably. Yeah, probably like right there. This does not move well. There we go. Awesome. I gotta say, it's really good. I'm really, really liking it. We do have quite a selection of romance animes. I mean, I don't count My Dress Up Darling. That's why I said that with Mikadono Sisters. And I'm like, oh yeah, we don't have too many romance animes, because the romance animes we do have are low-key shit. Like My Dress Up Darling, great slice of life, not the best romance anime. Rent a Girlfriend, you're hilarious. And then also, like, Rascal, Dreams of Bunny Girl, like, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not my thing. That's what I'm kind of saying, that, like, when it comes to romance animes, we have the Mikadono Sisters of the Breeze and Fragrant Flowers. The Fragrant Flower That Blooms with Dignity. So good. But yeah, that's where I gotta put it. And then lastly, Summer Hikaru died. I gotta say, it's at the back of B, maybe C. I think that it is solid. It is a Netflix exclusive. It's like a creepy horror anime, right? So it's focused on the creepiest side of horror. The problem is that it's not moving along with the story. You kind of build the story up in the beginning. You kind of have this detective coming in, murders, weird stuff happening. You're kind of figuring out what's going on. You know, the MC is like very conflicted because he's like, my buddy's dead. It's an alien. We're kind of friends. It's like, it's getting all over the place. But then it became just a slice of life. It came just them two hanging out, becoming buddies again, and going to school. Like, the detective, who seems like really cool, he's got his hamster, and that helps him, you know, find like ghosts and spirits and anomalies, just isn't doing anything. Like, he pops up like each episode, but like briefly, and even the people are saying like, dude, what are you doing? Like, do something. He's like, all right, let's go search for this. And it's like, that's it. Like, I want the thriller aspect of it. I want the chase. I want the plot twist. I want the speed. We're just not getting that right now. It's focusing more on just the creepy side, and that's it. And it's a bit slower, and it's more on the slice of life side right now. So I gotta say, beginning of the season, it's good. Beginning of the season to say. Right now, it's B. If it gets more into it, I feel like maybe with like a season 2, I feel like season 2 is really when it's gonna pop off. That's when we see it at the top of A, maybe, but yeah, I'm putting it there for right now. Anyways, listen guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know where you disagree with me, where you agree with me, and what are your must-watch. I got Gachiakuta and I got Takopi's Original Sin. They're both heat. I'm not gonna lie, I highly recommend them to anybody, but be careful, Takopi Original Sin. It has a warning at the beginning of every episode for a reason. But anyways, guys, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are loving the 2025 summer anime season. It's incredible. Fall should still be pretty good. But that's it, guys. Later. Peace.